Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Guruvayurappa Sharanam. Dashaka 35 of Narayaneeyam is continuation of Ramayana story starting from Sugriva Sakyam. The contents of the first 5 slokas of this Dashaka 35 is as under. The brothers Rama and Lakshmana got further information that they could obtain the help needed to find Ravana's kingdom by making alliance with Sugriva, the king of Vanaras, a monkey race who lived in the southern region of rivers and lake. Rama and Lakshmana sought out to Sugriva, who, as it turns out, shared a similar misfortune. Sugriva's wife had been abducted by his enemy brother Bali. A mutual alliance was formed, and Rama and Lakshmana helped Sugriva defeat Bali, and Sugriva and his Vanarasena set out to help Rama and Lakshmana to defeat Ravana. Sugriva mobilized his forces and sent them out to all quarters in search of Lanka, Ravana's kingdom, where Sita was imprisoned. But after months of futile searching, the armies began to lose hope. It was Sugriva's chief minister Hanuman who received information that the kingdom of Lanka was an island far across the Indian Ocean. Hanuman resolved to travel through the air in search of Janaki. Rama gave the signet ring to be given to Sita for identification of Hanuman. Hanuman landed in Lanka and saw Sita in Ashokavanam. Hanuman's first step was to communicate with Sita and assure her. With folded palms, Hanuman approached Sita and gave her the ring from Rama. In blissful exchange, Sita offered her crust jewel, that is Chudamani, to be given to Rama. Hanuman finally left. In parting, Sita told him that she could only live for another 1 month like this, and then she would give up her life. Before heading back with this message, Hanuman decided to gauge the enemy's power. In a miraculous display of powers, Hanuman broke down all the 3 trees in the Ashoka Vana except the one under which Sita was sitting, and also burnt the palaces in Sri Lanka. Then he flew back across the ocean and landed with a great noise upon a mountain peak. Without delay, Vanaras under Sugriva mobilized and built a miraculous bridge of stones across the ocean. Now we will see the Narayaneeya slokas, first 5 slokas of this chapter. Nidas Sugriva Maitrim Tadanu Hanumada Dunduve Kayamuchaihi Shiptangushtena Bhuyo Luluvitha Yugabat Patrina Saptasalan Hatva Sugriva Khadotyadam Adulabalam Balinam Vyajavritya Varsha Vela Manaishihi Virahataralidaha Tvam Madanga Sramande. Having entered into an alliance with Sugriva through Hanuman, though flung far away the corpse of the Asura Dundubi with the toe, and also cut through 7 sala trees by a single arrow simultaneously to demonstrate thy strength to Sugriva. Bali, who was incomparable in strength and was eager to kill Sugriva, was killed by thee by using a strategy. Now, to understand the Asura Dundubi story which is mentioned in this sloka, haughty almost to madness over the unrivaled strength and powers Dundubi got as the result of the bone, went about challenging whomsoever he met for a fight. but none dared to accept the challenge. Then he went to Kishkinda and challenged Bali. Dundubi took to fight in the skies to save his life, but the moon dawned then, and in the moonlight, Bali and his brother Sugriva followed Dundubi, who entered a terrible cave covered by something like a forest of grass. After stationing Sugriva at the opening of the cave, Bali followed Dundubi into the cave. Sugriva waited there for an year for the return of Bali from the cave. When one day he witnessed foaming blood flow out of the mouth of the cave, mistakenly believed that Bali was dead, and he closed the mouth of the cave with a huge stone and returned home. But Bali, who had by then killed Dundubi, kicked off the stone and came out of the cave and followed Sugriva in a rage. From that day onwards, Sugriva lived in the Rishyamukha mountain where Bali had no admission, because during Bali's duel with Dundubi, blood from the body of the latter spurted out to the skies, and it also fell in the hermitage of Matanga Rishi at Rishyamukha, where the sage Matanga was performing tapas. Angered at this, sage cursed him, whoever he might be, who was responsible for blood falling in this ashram will die by his head getting broken if he mounted Rishyamukha. Sugriva took shelter there away from Bali. Seeing Sugriva's faith in him and his great fear of Bali, Rama resolved to put an end to his doubt. By a playful hip of his toe, he sent an enormous skeleton of Dundubi, which was lying there, flying in the air to a distance of 10 yojanas. But Sugriva, though impressed, was not convinced. When his brother sent Dundubi's dead body hurling in the sky, which was full of flesh and blood and was heavier than this weather-beaten skeleton. Then Rama bent his bow and, pulling the string to his ear, sent forth an arrow. It pierced the Sala tree pointed out by Sugriva and 6 other trees standing behind it. Piercing that 7 trees, the beautiful arrow touched the earth and returned to Rama. Sugriva, seeing this, became very happy. Now, coming to the sloga meaning. Though then spent the rainy season tormented by the pangs of separation from Sita near the hermitage of sage Matanga. Next sloka. Sugrivenanujokya sabhayamabhiyada vyuhidam vahinim tam Rikshanam vichya dikshu drudamada daida marganaya vanamram Sandesham Janguliyam Pavanasudagare Pradisho Modashali Marge Marge Mamarge Kabibirabi Tada Twatpriya Saprayasaihi. When the younger brother Lakshmana admonished Sugriva, he in fear approached the marshalling an army of monkeys to search Sita in all directions. Rama was waiting for the rains to abate so that Sugriva will come out and help for finding Sita. But the rains had stopped and still there was no sign of Sugriva coming out. So Rama got angry and Rama told Lakshmana that he should carry a message to Sugriva. And that's the reason why Lakshmana admonished Sugriva. You were delighted to see this and gave to Hanuman, who was standing before thee, a message and a ring to be given to Sita. The monkeys very diligently started on the mission to search for thy consort Sita. Tadvarta kannanodyad garudurujava sambadi vaikya Protirnannodhirandar nagari janagajam vichya datvanguliyam प्रक्षुद्योद्यानमक्षक्षपण क्षणरणः सोढबन्धो दशास्यं दृष्ट्वा पुष्ट्वा च लङ्गां झटिति स हनुमन् मौलिरत्नं ददौ ते. Sambadi is the brother of Jadayu, and Sambadi heard Ramayana from the Vanara Sena there. His burnt wings became normal then. Then Sambadi introduced himself that he was the elder brother of Jadayu, and during competition to reach the sun, both Jadayu and Sambadi flying one above the other, Sambadi flew above Jadayu to protect him from the heat of the sun and got his wings burnt and fell down near the sea. And now after hearing Ramayana, his wing became normal. Then he heard the death about his brother. Sambadi was requested to help in the search of Sita, and Sambadi had a vision unparalleled to anyone. From this side of the ocean itself, he saw Sita inside Lanka in Ashokavana. So the meaning of the sloka is, on hearing thy account, Sambadi had grown fresh wings and flew away. As Sambadi had told him the whereabouts of Sita, Hanuman jumped across the ocean and reached the city of Lanka. There he saw Sita and gave her the ring given by Rama, and destroyed the garden, killed the demon Akshakumar in the famous battle, and put up with the Brahmastra bondage. Then he met the 10-faced Ravana and burnt down Lanka. Hanuman then quickly went to thee and gave the crust jewel, that is Chudamani, given by Sita. Tvam sugrivangadadi prabala kabi chamu chakra vikranda bhumi chakrovikramya pare jaladi nisichare tranuja sriyamana talproktam shatruvartam rahasi nishamayan prarthanapyartarosha prastagneya sratejaha trasadudadigirā labdavan madhyamargam. Those set out with a huge army of monkeys led by great warriors, Sugriva, Angada and others, and conquering the whole earth, reached the shore of the ocean. Ravana's younger brother Vibhishna crossed over to thy side, and taking refuge in thee, disclosed the secrets of the enemy, which thou heard in secret. When the requests made to the ocean deity were in vain, in anger thou set the fire missile to annihilate the waters of the ocean. Frightened by the power of the missile, as ordered by the ocean deity, thou got away through the ocean. कीशैराशान्दरो बाहृदगिरिनिकरैः सेतुमाथाप्ययादो यादून्यां मर्द्यदंष्ट्रा नगशिखरिशिला शालशस्त्रैः स्वसैन्यैः व्याकुर्वन् सानुजस्त्वं समरभुवि परं विक्रमं चक्रचेत्रा वेगान्नागास्त्रबन्धः पदकपदिगरुर्मारुदैर्मोजितो भूः. The monkeys from all the quarters brought mountains and rocks, by which thou got a bridge built across Lanka. Crossing over, the army of monkeys attacked the Rakshasas with teeth, claws, mountains, rocks and palm trees as weapons. With thy brother displaying terrific power in the battlefield, Ravana's son Indrajit soon tied down thy troops with Nagastra. Garuda, thy vehicle, soon released them from that state by fanning them with his wings. These are the first five slokas of this chapter. Now, to end this video, we will have an Hanumat Stuti Stotra. Om Manojavam Marudatulyavegam Jidendriyam Buddhimadam Varishtam വാദാത്മജം വാനരയൂഥമുഖ്യം ശ്രീരാമദൂതം ശിരസാ നമാമി. ബുദ്ധിർബലം യശോധൈര്യം നിർഭയത്വം മരോഗതാം അജാഡ്യം വാക്പടുത്വം ച ഹനുമസ്മരണാത് ഭവേത്. ജയ ആഞ്ജനേയ സ്വാമിക്ക്.